Okay. Let's let's get one thing straight. I don't care what you think about me. Chances are you're a premonition of existence who doesn't exist because you've been programmed by those who do not exist to join them. I do exist. I'm one of the less than a billion people who actually graduates this spirit scam we're all on right now. In case you didn't realize that you're just a premonition of existence, as Christ described, and your spirit is being scanned to see if you would actually be detrimental or beneficial. You see, all right. So now let's move on and talk about election tampering, voter fraud, and election psy-ops. Okay. Now, man, you will use Michigan in their recent gubernatorial election as an example, because there's this really pathetic monster premonition, non-existent parasite bitch, Snyder in the office of governor of Michigan, right? And this bitch got in office and he did the typical non-existent, shitworm controlled monster premonition bitch move and started pillaging the people, right? So he pillaged all these college kids of their education funds. He pillaged. You'll hear noise in the background. That's them switching out wires on a pole. I'm at my wife's house in Grayling. He pillaged them college kids and schools and the education system, and then pops up, not even a year later after he did all this pillaging. Oh, and he also put an illegal double indemnity tax on the elderly, the retiree pensions, which they already paid taxes on that, so that's illegal. So he's lining himself up not only for a class action suit, but that's ill-gotten gain. So that's $900,000 per penny per second that passes from the moment they pillage them pennies. $900,000 it costs them, plus 500 quadrillion curses attached to them, their administration, all who help them come into power, all who benefit from them being in power. So it's like, it's not free what's happening here. And if they die in debt to the cosmos, because God said you work with your own two hands for what you have, and you don't take nothing more than what you can legally earn, right? If they die in debt to the cosmos, well, the time loops are there of the slaves, right? There's slaves who picked cotton. There's slaves who built all this modern technology that y'all don't care about, that they built it. You're creating a demand for it. There's slaves that built most of the products you're buying for Christmas this year. There's slaves who bought they didn't buy, they built. There's slaves who made fashions that you wear and the coats and the hats that you wear. Those were slaves, enslaved by a non-existent monster premonition regime in their nation, right? Just monstrous bug motherfuckers, got no right to exist, or won't be existed, you see. And then you got sex slaves and dope slaves, it's like, so there's plenty of options and directions to send them in time loops of justice to for God to get his money out of them. God said, if you will not work, you will not eat. God said, you will not take other people's stuff. You will not engage in underhanded business practices that benefit you and don't benefit nobody else, because it's not really about you. And that's something that this bitch motherfucker that became a governor forgot. And for the record, Michigan hasn't had a good governor since Blanchard. It's like all the governors that have followed have just been like the Detroit mayors, just raping and pillaging the state and taking what they can out of it. And it's like there's even one bitch who participated with the Reagan administration to close down all the mental health facilities, which they got to pay for that. Now they got to be all them mentally ill people who bad shit happened to them. When they get time looped, that's some of the time loops they got to endure. They're going to endure all the time loops as victims and ripple effects victims of their decisions and their corrupt reign and their abuses of power. They got away with nothing here. Spirit memory is non-tamperable, it's non-deletable, You can't mess with it, and you can't erase it. And your spirit memory has in your spirit memory is recorded everything you do, everything you don't do that you're supposed to do. You know, your omissions to do good. It holds in there your thoughts. You know what you thought. It everything you said. You know everything you should have said that you didn't say. Stuff like that. And it's like it's all recorded, and it's also recorded when you negatively affect something. Those spirit memories connect to your spirit memory. They have like almost like a color coding, for lack of a better description. It's actually more like a scent or something, or like a brainwave or something, you know. But it's in the spiritual realm. This is something that today's science, you know, in this realm, they're still close to. We recently gave them the hidden prophecy of Daniel, which opens a lot to them, so that they understand that they're not getting away with anything, that they don't even exist yet, just as Christ warned people. If you commit violence, you won't be allowed to exist, you see? Yeah, and if you violate God's parameters of what a desirable entity is, you see? So, you know, do unto others. Put Daniel's hidden prophecy on that, and translate it like that. Do unto others as you want done unto you in the time loops of justice after you die. Okay? After your premonition of existence dies. You know? The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. That's pretty much plain and simple. When you came here to earth, you entered into certain clauses of contract that either you abide by, or you don't make it back home. You go into the time loops of justice, and then you get eternally executed. Well, the wealth that you laid up in escrow when you came here as a human goes to those who do graduate from the spirit scan. You see, a lot of those will be your victims and shit. They'll get everything you laid in escrow. And for you billionaires, you think you're rich now. Well, you were really rich before you came here, and now you're getting a clue. You know that if your riches now are nothing compared to what you laid in escrow, then you must have laid a lot down, and there's going to be a lot you ain't going to get. And who knows how much of your spiritual bloodline is going to get eternally executed now, that was with you before you came here and got the bloodline that you're a part of now eternally executed. You see? That's a pretty deep equation, man. It requires some meditation. A lot of you aren't capable of even comprehending what I just told you. So it's easy to see why there's little parasites like Snyder who'd get lost. He could think that he could become governor and then just rape all these people of their money, and then pop up, you know, a year later. I've got $1 billion surplus. Michigan has $1 billion surplus. Michigan ain't got shit. Snyder and his administration have a bag of pillaged money, is what it is. Candy from babies is what it is. They took candy from babies. And you notice that none of that money, he wanted to spend it on building a bridge for his, you know, part of something for, you know, his billionaire buddies, you know, because this fucker he's just a puppet for billionaires, right? His little billionaire butt buddies. And he gonna spend it on a bridge when we already got a bridge, right? It's like, you know, it's just like what's that bitch from Alaska? You know, she wanted to build a bridge in nowhere, or he gonna build a bridge for no reason, you know? Two retarded governors. So then this motherfucker, his bridge idea gets shot down. So the roads in Michigan don't get fixed. The roads in Michigan are like the most horrendous roads in the world, man, and they don't get fixed. This motherfucker had $1 billion surplus missing. He's still raping old people at their pension, you know, double indemnity tax. It's illegal to tax motherfuckers on money they already paid taxes on, man. It's already on record that they paid taxes on them. What you want them to do? Get cash out and write down the serial numbers? I already paid my taxes on this $10 bill. Is that what it's come down to, that these motherfuckers got to take all their money, you know, and point out that they paid taxes on it? That, you know, that now you're creating this thing where young people are copping the mentality, hey, look how you're treating the old people. You're raping and pillaging them. Well, I'm going to rape and pillage you and fucking keep you from getting tax dollars from me then. You see how you're reaping what you sow. Because then you become untrustworthy stewards who can't be trusted with the cash, so then motherfuckers don't want to give it to you because they know you're just going to take it. You're going to give it to your rich industrialist buddies, you know? You're going to tilt the laws to favor them and shit. You know, I speak out on white devilism a lot because white devils have taken a lot from me. And this shit that Snyder has done is white devilism in Michigan. And it's like there's not very many people who aren't zombie slave clones or who have not benefited from his administration who would vote him in. They hate him. Okay? So then you see him, he runs for governor again. He talks all this dumb shit. It's all lies. Talks about how he put money into shit when all he did was take money out of shit. It just disappeared. He's Michigan's little Obama and shit. And he's rolling with Obama, okay? So here's what's tripped out is it becomes apparent that this Mark Schaur dude was gonna sink him, blow him out of the water. And Mark Schaur wants to, undo all his evil shit. He wants to stop taxing the old people and shit. So, all of them old people voted for Mark Schaur. Every last old person in Michigan voted for Mark Schaur just to get Snyder out of there so that they could get their money. So what's happening in Michigan is, and I discovered this because it's happening to my wife, is they're taking the votes of people who do not vote. This is voter fraud. They're registering them to vote since they never registered the vote. And then they use their vote in whatever direction they want to use it. This is happening all over the United States because there's so many people who do not vote. They're voting for those people now. This is voter fraud. Okay? Now, it's also election tampering. They're tampering with elections. And there's also Psy-Ops that tamper with elections. Like in this case, Mark Schaur he was gonna beat the shit out of Snyder's little bitch ass. Okay, this is just a fact. Everybody that's intelligent, all these college kids, all these old people wanted Snyder's ass out. They would have voted in a Humpty Dumpty or Pinocchio. Anybody to get that bitch motherfucker out of there, right? What happens? Fucking, it looks like Schaur's gonna win, Mark Schaur. So they bring Obama in and stand him next to Mark Schaur. Obama was not running with Mark Schaur in any way. Obama did not really want to endorse Mark Schaur. He already has his deals pinned out with Snyder, you see? So, and he's already, relegated that Snyder is his guy that's rolling with him for the Michigan region. Okay? So it's like, what do you do to get people to change their mind about voting for Schaur at the last minute? You pull a Psy-Ops. You send the most hated politician in all of the world to stand next to him, right? To pretend like he's rolling with him. So then it was the equivalent of like putting George Bush standing next to him. It's like people got scared, they became protective. They decided, we better. So there was a percentage of the vote that was lost due to Obama standing to Mark Schaur next to Mark Schaur for the Psy-Op that had people thinking that Obama really endorsed him, when Obama really endorses and stands behind and with Snyder and always has. Okay? So it's like Snyder and Obama are two peas in a pod. They want to rape the people, rape and pillage the people, and fuck what they think and fuck democracy, right? And that's what's happened here. Okay? Now you people have to stop with your shit and not voting, because they're voting for you. It's voter fraud. It's happening all over, especially in Michigan. All right? You ever wonder why you're getting subpoenas to go to jury duty and you never registered to vote? And you didn't check the little box at fucking the driver's license place to get when you got your driver's license to be a juror? That's one of the reasons why. But you also need to just check and see, are you registered to vote? You can do that online from home, man. It's like just to see if somebody's stealing your identity in the fashion of using your vote. You should care about if people are voting against your wishes, if they're voting in monstrous devils like Snyder to rape and pillage you and to vote all these evil fucked up laws in that are they're swooping in with the UN to take your guns away by any means necessary, even if they got to make ammunition unavailable. It's like that's part of why they bought a billion plus bullets. It's like come on, man, wake the fuck up. It's like it's you got to go check and see if you are registered to vote. If you're already registered to vote, then somebody's using your vote. If you did not register to vote and somebody registered you to vote, then somebody's using your vote to vote in the terrorists and the treasonous and traitors, those who are against you. They're for their rich butt buddies. They're placed there, okay, and they figured out that they can use your vote because you're not paying attention. You're looking at your little iPhone instead. Wake up, look to the sky. They're here.